Stopwatch. Yo, they better deliver my shit today. I want to be able to adjust that watch.
I would also like them to deliver my shit today, but they're not going to do it.
Was that the video game?
Yeah, man. Small update from our last talk. I did indeed purchase NBA 2K23, and I also got the His Airness version. I don't know if it's actually called the His Airness version, but that's what I'm calling it.
Is it that dope?
Well, first of all, I had from when I got the PlayStation 5 in the first place, I got like a $25 credit, some shit like that.
So how much was the actual game though?
Well, it would be $100, but because of the credit that I got for it, I mean, it basically came out to what it'd be with tax of the regular version anyway.
Is it that much better, or is it just the cover?
You get like extra in-game shit.
Like Michael Jordan being in the game and shit?
Well, I think he would be in the game anyway, but there's like...
Remember for the longest time, he was never... There was like that player 0-0
Yeah, they never called him Michael.
And everybody's like, that's gotta be Michael. He's head shape. It's a bald black man with the Bulls jersey on. It's definitely Michael Jordan.
Like, and his skill is above everybody else's. Like,
yeah, like they just couldn't say it. And
then
when he was first... we have that one somewhere. I don't know if it's your house, my house.
Because he wasn't playing with his likeness, you know? He's like, you're going to pay me if you're going to use my name.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get... You know,
but no, I've seen that you purchased that. I purchased so I bought two things, right?
But man, these motherfuckers is not gonna be here until like next week.
I saw that.
I'm like, you son of a bitch.
I don't always go into Amazon. I only go in there when I really have something I want to buy. So like he's the family.
I'm gonna change it. There's like you can have like a family login and you can have like your personal login.
Why? What happened?
Every time I go in there, it's like defaulting to somebody else's address, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, so
no, this is mine.
Well, I feel like it always defaults to yours whenever I go in there.
Whenever I go in there, it's not yours.
Oh, really? All right, so I bought two things, right? Because I've been having like a strain, like, so the trainer at my gym told me he thinks it's like maybe tendonitis, so he recommended something called it's like basically a very flat rubber like strap, right? So you start it here and you kind of like bring it around your arm, right?
Bring it around town.
And I don't know how to like properly describe it, but essentially it helps pump a lot of white blood cells into that area, right? And it helps heal that portion. Not like some fucking rapidly healing like serum you get in a video game, but like it helps in its aiding of itself, you know?
It's not like a health pack.
It's not a health pack. You got to sit there and wrap your arm with like, and somehow you drastically come back from 14 bullet wounds in like Call of Duty.
Or you take 14 bullet wounds and you can still continue.
Like, watch this, guys. I'm back to health. I'm fucking magician here. So I bought that, and I bought, because I don't know, were we discussing watches on the last episode and how much like I've kind of like kind of dove right back into it. But since then, I've gotten even further into it, and I've started watching them service watches, which is a whole nother topic. But I had bought a watch myself that I think I said that it finally came. I need to adjust the links. I do intend on buying another watch, so the thing to adjust it was like...
This is not a watch podcast, by the way.
I mean, it's a podcast about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Nobody wants to spend 40 hours.
Nobody recommends shit. They just literally...
But still, nobody wants to spend 40 hours.
We're not gonna. We can talk a little bit about it because it's my podcast too, and they're gonna listen. Anyway, so the tool makes it easier. Like before, I think the last time I adjusted a watch was this watch. And I brought it to our parents' house, and Dad had that little vise on his workbench. I just put it like a little towel around it, and I just squeezed this bitch in there, and I tapped it out with a hammer, with like a nail. It's not a very efficient way. That's like a 40-mile ride, at least crude tools. I was like, fuck that. I'm going to buy the one that will just do it in a couple seconds. So I bought that. That was like $9.
Makes sense. I mean, if you're going to be a watch guy, you should have the watch.
You should have a few things for watches, right? Like you should...
Or, have like a watch guy.
And again, I want to put it out there. This is the most expensive watch I have. This one I bought was $100. It's not that expensive, but I do like it. So I want to make sure that it fits right and I take care of it. I mean, is that so hard to understand?
Makes a lot of sense,
It makes a lot of sense. So I guess we should Say who we are, right?
This man is all over the place today. All right, well,
Because
welcome everybody.
I want to talk about.
Welcome everybody to the Kasson Avenue podcast, formerly known as the Kiona and Kasson Avenue. Well, not even, it was an avenue prior.
Now you're.
Well, now I'm just on it.
I don't know what I'm talking
The
about.
Kiona and Kasson podcast. You know, that's what it was. That's what it is today. We are episode.
No, it's not that today.
We are episode number 152 today, or technically episode number 2. However you want to look at that.
It's 150.
And then in parentheses 2. So that's also 152 and 2.
Look, we just continued, but we just changed the name because we thought it'd be easier.
No, we know that already. Enough.
That was a simplification.
I am your host, Adam, here with my brother Osama, and the dog is here being on some weird shit. He's usually that way.
Yeah, a little bit.
We didn't pick up any subs, but welcome back to all the people who are already here.
Appreciate you. Look, man. Tell your friends we're trying to get to 300 subscribers. We have 298.
No, we're trying to get way past that, but
Listen,
there first, you know?
baby steps.
The small milestones.
It's baby steps, baby.
It is, of course, football Sunday as we record on Sundays. And so,
Yeah,
you know,
Adam is decked out in the most football I've ever seen him decked out in.
yeah, you know, I mean...
I was surprised he wasn't holding a football. And
Well, this hat, I mean, you might have seen it in other episodes hanging on the wall. I never really wear it, so I figure, hey, when you have the jersey on,
if
it's a
you're
good
not
time.
aware who that's supposed to be, it's supposed to be Ditka.
It's da coach. you know?
Ditka.
And this jersey, in case you didn't know, number 51 in the likeness of the legend and arguably somebody who has the funniest name since names have been names.
Fucking Dick
Butkus. Shout out to How High, you know.
Yeah, man.
The boys are there.
No, that's funny. But no,
I was going to put on the pads. Dick Butkus, you hear that, coach? He's cursing.
that would have been pretty good. You could have done that.
But I just voiced it in now, so
I guess that
same
works.
effect, you know.
Same.
Yeah, different but the same.
Yes.
Or something like that.
But no, that's a nice jersey. It's clean. Did you just buy it?
No, actually, I got it a couple years ago, and I'm pretty sure mom be working for those little internet or gambling little cafes, whatever.
And that's how
I
you
think,
got it?
yeah, I think she just gave it to
She
me. For
gave
that.
you a jersey?
Yeah, and it's a in-game jersey.
That
It's
motherfucker.
the Nike logo and whatnot, you know.
No, it's a nice jersey for her to give to you.
It is pretty nice, but I
Like
don't know. This has never been
to me, it
disputed.
looks like oldest son fucking material.
I'm the undisputed favorite. I don't know how this has been. I mean, it's disputed, but it's incorrectly
Listen,
disputed.
you're like what they just argue when they say who's the best. I'm Mike. You are Jazz are just fighting for fucking second.
I'm gonna have to strongly disagree with that. Not just disagree, when they give you those 5 bullets to fill in, and you're like
5 bullets.
yeah,
What
and they're
is-
like strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly strongly
Would
agree.
they describe those as bullets or bullet points?
Well, little bubbles. How about that?
Like
They're technically bubbles.
like the Scantron joints.
Yeah, but usually it's on a computer.
Yeah. I used to hate fucking filling those things in. Fill them in completely, bitch. Why? If I put a little bit here, I did it.
And the worst thing about those Scantron shits is you can't completely erase anything.
Look, I got all the answers. Why?
they give me the fucking razors they put on pencils are pieces of shit.
Yo,
I can't erase anything. It's straight marks every time.
I remember there would be those tests going around, or we'd have a specific class with Scantron test, and
Somebody
motherfuckers-
steal the answer key.
Motherfuckers be circulating the damn. You'd be like, look what I got.
You gotta appreciate the people who do that.
Hell yeah, man.
They're taking a big risk.
You think cheating's easier in classes these days or harder with all the technology? Because you can have a phone.
I think they should just be teaching to the era, instead of teaching you how to do manual mathematics problems. Everybody go get a TI-83 or whatever it is today.
I never owned
and
one of
fucking
those.
learn how to put it together.
I never owned one. I don't know if that helped or hurt me, but probably hurt since
Instead, I
I
mean,
was
I don't
very
know.
terrible at math.
I just really feel like there's ways that they can do it instead of you don't need to do this mentally anymore. You got all the technology at your fingertips. Just teach you how to use the technology.
That's true.
Teach
I'm
me how
not
to
off
get to the
fact
answer.
that mom gave you that jersey.
Well, you can hate all you want.
I would have probably wore it with a hoodie under it, just because that'd probably be the.
Oh man, it's cooler, but it's not that cold. Yeah, I don't know why you have a hoodie or a sweater on.
Well, it was
Not a
cool.
hoodie.
It's cool enough. It's 60-some degrees out, 61.
Yeah, but this room be running hot, especially because
Oh, I'm good right now. I think that window's kind of helped me
I had
out
that
here.
window open for
It's
the
the
whole week.
coolest it's been in here in fucking months
Without a fan.
without a fan.
We ain't even got the fan on.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, so hopefully the Bears pull that out today. Since I put on all this swag.
I'm not even gonna watch.
Well, it's on in 20 minutes, so we're gonna be potting.
Oh, you ain't gonna be able to watch that. Not at least.
I've been
maybe
thinking
the
about
first
getting
half.
a TV and having another box here, so we can.
Well, that's what that TV's for.
Listen, that TV has been paperweight for the last 8 months because you won't bring the
more like
power cord.
More like a carpet weight.
whatever. Bring the paper. Bring the power cord, man.
Bring the paper.
Then I can get an extra box, and we could just have this.
Yeah, you are fogging up.
It's funny. I was watching. I think what was it? Angie Martinez has her show where
same shit was happening for her.
She had Lauren London on, and I was watching, and her glasses were fogging up. I was like, it ain't just a me thing,
It's just a everybody like you thing.
It's just everybody when you have glasses and freaking performance light.
Performance light. This is no regular light. This is a performance light.
This is a fucking really long light bulb, man. I don't know. It's not a regular light bulb.
Never seen a light bulb that long before.
Yeah, shout out to Glenn, or opposite shout out to Glenn.
Yeah, we haven't said opposite shout out to Glenn in a minute.
Yeah.
But, our show has progressed. We're beyond that.
No, we're not.
Yeah, probably not. So
make it very clear, we're not above anything that's lowbrow.
Lowbrow is pretty funny. So, so how's it going? Oh, speaking of lowbrow, you see this pimple right between my brows?
I do see
Yo,
that.
this is like a third eye. I have a theory about it because it's not the Markabuddha like dude said.
Yes, the skin Markabuddha.
It's so when I'm working, right, I have to bend over to like service machines and shit like that. The sweat comes to the point of here on my nose naturally, and then I have like glasses or safety goggles on, right? So I think what happens is there's just sweat that sits in that pore. So
I mean, listen, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say I don't really know if that's why, because I wear glasses every day, and I'll be sweating sometimes.
Yeah, but you don't
and
do
it just falls off the bottom of
you
the
don't
glasses.
do nothing
typically.
physically laborious.
Well, you think I've never done it in the 27
We're
years
talking
that I've
about
worn
now,
glasses in my life?
As an older man, you sweat more. Agree that you sweat more.
Just
as an
because
older
you
man.
sweat more, don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. The hell wrong with you?
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Isn't that the scene where they had the knife in them and they were like, to get that knife out, we'll put another knife in another. Stupid. Anyway, so now that that's all taken care of.
Yeah, I know you have a topic you want to get to.
Well, no, I was going to ask you what's been up with you.
Oh man, not too much,
Oh man.
I don't be on too much, as we know. But I put some time in to get some vacation out of the way next week, and I'm looking forward to that time. And then I got a follow-up appointment finally to try to get this breathing thing situated, which luckily since the temperature has dropped, it's been a little bit better, But
maybe it's the heat. Maybe you got to live in a
well, not because
cooler climate.
Still an issue, you know what I mean? But I'm hopefully this much closer to an answer now,
You're almost there, man.
This much closer.
You're almost there.
Baby steps.
You're gonna figure it out.
Hopefully.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's the goal anyway. Like, if I go for all these appointments and pay them $40 co-pays and shit, you better figure something out.
Yo, that jersey makes your body look like it's really small inside. Like, it's because how
because they're supposed to be shoulder pads.
It looks really funny. Like, your body looks hilarious right now.
I'm really stuck on this jersey, right?
It's just really funny. I'm sure that they can see it through the camera.
It's not often that I have a football jersey on, or any
It's like,
jersey.
I know
really.
your shoulders aren't that high, so it feels like you're like,
Can lift them.
it's like you're in like a Santa's fat suit.
If I just lift my shoulders like this.
No, it still looks like.
Do it like this.
Now it
If I
looks
just do
even
the whole
worse.
episode, just like.
It just looks worse.
All right, well then we won't do that.
No,
it's
don't
uncomfortable anyway.
No, not that. Oh shit.
But yeah, nothing super crazy. I'm waiting on my NBA 2K23 to get here, then that'll occupy a lot of my time as we head into October and
Into October?
into October.
Oh, okay. I was like into October.
Inta. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did want to say last night I was watching this is like an Adam Sandler special. But it was like 2018 or something like that. Like, what the hell?
He is throwing a fit.
It's like Always Fresh or some shit like that, right? I forget what the name specifically is, but something around the word fresh. But at the end, he had me all in my feelings, right? His specials aren't comedy specials. They're comedy specials, but they're not stand-up, right? Like he does a lot of singing.
He just does
and
like
shit
a lot
that.
of like storytelling.
Yeah, and he does a lot of it's funny, but he does a lot of like singing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So one of the last things he did was like a Chris Farley song, and you can. My man loved Chris.
Yeah,
He loved
Chris
him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he did.
There's like an intense love.
They
there.
all did. I mean, fucking. I just saw a story with David Spade talking about him, and
Yeah.
and how much he like. Or no, actually, it wasn't David Spade. Though David Spade always tells stories about it, because I mean, I think of all people, he's probably got some of the most intense stories to tell.
For sure. I mean, they did Tommy Boy and all that shit together.
Black Sheep, and they were all in SNL, and
Yeah.
But it was a Norm Macdonald story, and rest in peace to Norm Macdonald
Yes,
and
always.
Chris Farley,
Sure.
obviously. But that he was talking about how the first time he met Chris Farley, he busted in his room, and I forget what he said, and then he poured liquor or something like some liquid over him, and then started shoving small tomatoes up his butt.
What the fuck? Hilarious, man.
It was something else. And I don't remember exactly. He's like, you want to see my impression of something? I can't remember what, because based on those clues, I couldn't tell you what it was. Maybe he put honey down him, poured honey over himself. Honey doesn't seem like it's easily poured. It feels like it just sits there. And then like throughout the day, if you let it just sit, it would pour over you. But honey's really slow moving, you know?
It's molasses. Slow as molasses.
You're slow as molasses, man.
Yeah, that was. I was like, man, it hit the heartstrings there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's good at that. I mean, especially somebody we like watched for so long.
Yeah.
You know, but I've actually seen that video of him singing that song. They're now unfogged enough for you to look through them?
Yeah, but they'll fog up again and I'll take them off again, you know.
I got you.
It's a little game that we play.
Yeah. Speaking of fogging up, because, well, that's kind of how that works up there. So I don't...
Transition king.
Getting good
or something like that.
Getting good at this. I think that's the second fog transition I've had in a while. Anyway, so... actually, we've discussed it.
I'm gonna be done
keep
with
them
these
off.
passes, man. What the fuck?
I saw you were like,
shit's just instantaneous.
So I think we discussed we were supposed to do this right on this podcast already. So we had postponed our skydiving. I'm pretty sure we talked about that, and we were supposed to do it my birthday. COVID-stricken household meant we had to postpone it. So we ended up doing it yesterday. Now, Adam didn't come because Adam is still having his little issues, and that sucks. But because of the fact that I liked it so much, we're going again. Now,
I wouldn't say that I have a bucket list per se, but it's something that I want to do anyway. So
I think I've been on the top of my bucket list for so long. Honestly, it's the
if I had an actual bucket list and I went and like tried to write it down, all the things around, it'd just be way too long. I want to do things.
We'll do them.
I want to have experiences.
We'll do that. I will say it is the most intense, craziest,
and not like you're in a tent.
Yeah, I wasn't intense. No, it was an intense feeling, man. Like I don't see how there's a bigger adrenaline rush than that. Literally, you free dive.
Were you listening to Twister? You going there?
No. No. I just kept saying, I'm free falling.
Appropriate.
Yeah, I said I'm free. Anyway, it was really, really fucking crazy. I didn't have any nerves about it, which was weird. And I know people are like, oh, you're fucking lying. I just really didn't.
You get no butterflies in his belly.
I had no butterflies about it. And I was the first one out the plane in general. All right. Now, I told Adam, I have a thing about this, right? I went up in a plane. Generally speaking, when you go up on a plane, actually, this made me look at the airplane process a little differently altogether.
You went up on a plane,
right? This made me look
at
that
like going
all
down
together.
On a plane?
So this made me look at that process, fucker. This made me look at that process a little bit differently, right? Actually flying somewhere, because I went up on a plane. Now, mind you, while we're going up on this plane, not even that. Before we go up on this plane, we go into the plane, right? Mm-hmm. We sit down.
Right.
So far, I think everybody had gone in the plane. So I'm the last person with my guy, and he's a little bit taller than I am. We're the biggest ones that are gonna go. So
it's the most intimate looking thing.
It
Showed
is.
me the video, and
it
it's
is.
just like all the.
But you know what, man? Like,
put your head on my shoulder.
You have to. But I'll say that it's very like you guys. It would probably be okay to have a beer afterwards because like you can discuss it. Like it really is kind of intimate because literally he's like got his hands in.
There's got to be one of those jobs though where like people are constantly talking to you about it and you're like, all right, listen, I know that skydiving is cool.
Yeah.
And like it's interesting and you want, but like leave me alone.
Probably. But they were all, dude, every instructor was so fucking cool and like very open-minded, like in terms of like they would. So Sarah, everyone had a different experience. Sarah said she was talking, this is very meditative to me. And this was like, yeah. And me and my guy, he's just like, over there be Chicago, pull this thing. I'm like, so
let's go to Chicago now.
But I do want to go back to getting in the plane because again, it makes me think about flying all completely different.
And so when you say that, obviously you weren't in Chicago for this, right?
This is Michigan City, so it's about an hour and a half away. 70.
Michigan City is Indiana, though, right?
It's right before you hit Michigan.
Why they do that shit?
Don't know, don't care.
It's like Kansas City is not in Kansas; it's in Missouri. Why the fuck they do that shit? It's very confusing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh. Well then. Anyway, so just understand. We get in the plane. He's like, "All right, we're just gonna sit right here." There's little stumps, right? It's like little hurdles, right? Like or the what is the thing that the horse, like the the tumble horse,
the pommel horse,
pommel horse. It's like little small versions of that, like almost like where wheel well would be. So they're all sitting on that. Me and this guy, he sits down. He's like, all right, sit in front of me. So I sat in front of him. And he's like, all right, just lean back on me. So I'm just leaning on him.
It's like they're just watching the clouds.
Well, we were talking the way up, but so I sit there, and the door is just like this little miniature garage door. It probably is about this wide, right? And it's about as tall as the inside of the plane. So we started driving already, and it's still open. I'm like,
feels like a Call of Duty mission.
My
like,
guy, are you guys gonna close that door? So I have my hand like kind of just resting like this. No seatbelt. No, it was like
anything I know about safety is out the window.
Like
right?
the most casual thing I could think of. Right? It's weird. But I guess it kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, you're gonna jump out anyway. What do you need seatbelts in this place for? I get it.
I suppose, but you don't want to fall out before you're supposed to jump out,
So they close the door right before we take off.
It's outside. Hey, man.
Let's see what that is.
Listen, we know how it is. When the window's open, people do jackass things.
Oh, it's Amazon.
Oh, these fucking guys.
These fucking Amazon guys. All right, so
it's not my damn NBA 2K, I tell you that much.
That'd be dope if it was.
It would, but it's not.
All right, so listen. They close that door, I want to say simultaneously as we take off. Right? I'm like, well, that was...
going in the air and like...
Well, I was like, well, that's a relief. Right? That's fucking good. I'm happy you closed that. Appreciate that, guys.
I feel like I'm not going to fall out now on the way up.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, I mean, if I fell out, I do have a parachute. Well, he does. So... But the thing is, he's not fully attached to me yet. As we're getting there, I'm like, oh, okay, because the shoulder straps were a little loose.
So you're just laying in his lap, but you weren't attached to him yet?
Well, he had he starts to like attach all the
harnesses and whatnot.
The harnesses and like tightens things up, and you feel like, all right, so now we're kind of really attached. So that's actually good. So I'm the first one to go. He's like, all right, we're gonna be the first to go. He's like, all right, now let's slide over a little bit to the door, and I'm gonna open it. Right? I was like. He's like, when I toss us out the plane.
When I toss us.
Right? Or no, he said shove. When I shove us out the plane, he's like, before I do it, he's like, put your head back on my shoulder, right? And then and dangle no. Here, let's go back a little. I just want to give people a very vivid idea of what happened. Because he's like, I'm gonna open this up. And that was like I had no nerves still, but I'm like, all right, well, this is the only real surreal movie-like moment.
Like I've sat exit row on a real plane, and they say don't open the door.
Yeah. I was like, all right. So, dude, it's like, whoosh. I'm like, whoosh. So now I'm on the edge, right? Like literally just sitting here, and the rest, and this is air. This is like regular air that we're flying through, right? And it's fast. We're fucking flying. Is
that what air does?
So yeah, it's in that motion. Like sometimes it goes like this, but when we're in the plane, it goes like this. So. So he's like, all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to slide over. You're going to dangle your feet off, right? So you might literally like a little bit of my butt was on the edge and my feet were dangling and I'm just like this. And I'm like, oh my God. Right? He's like, so put your head.
Like certain death is down there.
Yeah, I waved to everybody, I was like, all right, guys. And then, so I'm dangling there. He's like, all right, so when I shove us off, put your head back on my shoulders and then kind of curl your feet, bend your knees back, right? And then hold on to your suit. So Adam saw the video. When I fell out, it honestly,
Or got shoved out or
it
whatever.
still feels like I didn't do it.
I was joking with Sarah. I was like, it's a good thing you guys all made it back because I wasn't about to carry on the bloodline.
Dude, you're retarded. So
like all of my siblings are up there.
So listen, like, yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, you know, it was good. It was fun. But no, honestly, it was the craziest fucking feeling I've ever had in my life. For a reason. That's a good idea. No, craziest. I would cover that before he blew.
No, I'm not gonna blow. I just like, I just don't need a boogie hanging out, you know, while we're recording. I'm not gonna motorboat it. Yeah.
I wish Adam would have came and seen that, or at least been there just to see it. But I swear to God, it was the coolest thing I've ever done. I have no regrets. I know I'll do it again. It's indescribable, and everybody who tells you they jumped, they can't describe it to you. It's something, dude. I asked him, how fast do you think we'll be going, or how fast do you think we went? And he said somewhere about 130 miles an hour. Right? That means you're flying through the fucking air at 130 fucking miles an hour, and it just feels like you're flying, right? And it's a 45-second free fall. 45 seconds from the plane to when he decides that when he pulls the cord. So
then how long from cord pull to the ground?
It all goes so fast, but about 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you're up there for a few.
Yeah, I mean it takes probably 10 minutes. Everything goes fast. It's the fastest. He's like, all right, it's about 10, 15 minutes till we get to where we need to be up there. And I think you're just so ready to do it. Like, I don't think those 10, 15 minutes felt like maybe 5.
They'd be up there like flying around, flipping around in circles and shit? Or is that only when people go solo they can do that?
Oh, I was like, the plane? I'm like, no, dude, what do you think, we're in the Air Force?
That's how I'm doing barrel rolls and shit.
Like, what are you doing? I got to sign.
No, the Blue Angels and shit.
I think you can, right? If you go solo, I mean, it's up to you how you're going to do it. For us, like literally, we did a flip, I think, because when we fell out probably like this, right? And then we continued to do, and then I think we went just to this fucking torpedo of a fucking double human something or another. It was fucking crazy.
A tandem.
It was so crazy, that feeling. I at one point, because I've never felt such a influx of oxygen coming into me, like from that air or that velocity. And
there's a lot of words you're using here that are hilarious.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? Say something to me. I just skydived. I will throw you out of your window. Skydive now.
I don't think it gives you the courage to do that.
I think it does. I feel like it gave me a whole bunch of different courage. Okay, I will say that I don't know how, but it changes you in a way. It's just not like, like I am severely altered.
Had an awakening?
That. But it just... So that yesterday, right? I had in the morning somehow stumbled upon like some reel. It's like, and I when I posted today on my Instagram, I said it. It's like literally stop worrying about the things you can't control and just live a little, right? Like, so I was like, you know what? True. I guess technically I can control myself not to get in that plane, but let's just say
I could control my body somewhat in the air.
Let's just say I can't. No, I'm just saying like I could have been like, oh no, I'm not gonna go in there, and now you avoid jumping at all. But like also just taking that little, dude, you literally free fall to earth. It's fucking bananas.
So it's like the Jim Carrey movie Yes Man or whatever, right? Where he's like has to say yes to everything, any opportunity that presents.
Well,
itself.
I wouldn't say yes to everything.
Well, no, but like it's. Obviously not everything.
You gotta have some.
But it gives you like some to live a little.
You gotta have some discretion, kid.
Like you take opportunities as they come to you, and you go with the flow.
I think it's important to like experience these things, and like I've been learning that more and more as I'm getting a little older. And Adam could be like, "Oh, we've been telling you." That's fine. You've been telling me whatever. The point is, and the more important thing is that I've gotten to that point where I'm like, okay, let's start experiencing.
Better late than never.
Yes. And that's why I would like for you to get your motherfucking passport, because I'd like to go.
Hey man, listen, I'm making some progress here.
What happened?
This is what happened, right?
I mailed something in.
Nah, so I went to FedEx's website because they have they could do like an expedited thing, whatever, and they charge you like $100 to do it. So I was like, fuck all that. They had a link to the State Department, so I went on their website, and basically they had something where like you can submit like whatever that it's missing or lost or stolen, whatever, and then in the same application say that you want a replacement shipped to you, right? So I filled that whole thing out, and then there's give you like a list of locations that handle passport shit around here, and there's a library like don't know, a few blocks away from here. That you have
sounds like a movie.
You gotta you gotta set up an appointment, and then the passport specialist, whatever, will do what they have to do, and then they'll ship it out for you.
Why do you want a passport?
But it costs like $220 or some shit like that to get that whole thing done. But
well, it's not cheap to get a passport in general.
But hopefully by the end of the year, I could have a new passport.
Well, that's cool because I'm assuming you're gonna be pretty like feel stopped up. I don't know how else to put it. And you're gonna go on a
constipated?
No, well maybe like if after a while once you're done being stopped up, which this is kind of like metaphorically that, I'm sure you're gonna go on multiple vacations probably in the next next year, right?
Well, I mean, I would like to ideally,
So
all things.
Obviously, you're gonna go on your little solo one, but it'd be cool for us to be able to get into like some sort of tropical island as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
What the hell is wrong with this guy? Yeah, no, I mean, listen, finances permitting.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
we can get to 1,000 subscribers here, get some corporate sponsorship.
Tell your friends. Tell 700 of your friends.
Let me just tell y'all, all right? The Bill Burr shit when he's doing those reads, that shit is hilarious. It'll add a brand of comedy here,
It would add something and a little bit to my pockets.
I think what we can do is let's come up with some product ideas that we like and do a little fake advertisement for them. And just have fun with it and talk shit, because I think like we can make it hilarious.
But then we're giving them free advertisement, and they ain't giving us nothing.
That's true. Let's come up with fake products. This shit don't exist, and the company doesn't exist.
But yeah, man. Honestly, I would say if you are afraid of heights or any of that, get over it.
Don't be a biatch,
dude. You will not regret it. It's one of the craziest feelings because it's such a free feeling. You feel like a bird. It's
I'm like a bird.
He let me when he pulls that chute and he lets you kind of like pull the cord to like control it. So the G-force that you encounter up there doing that, it's nothing like you've ever felt. I can't describe it. All I want to say is that be a little open-minded and give it a shot if you're kind of on the fence. I think you really enjoy it.
Go and jump out of a plane, y'all. But, like, do it safely.
And don't say it's a this thing or a that thing. Like, so, like, be like, oh, that I don't do that. That's white people shit. Like, no, it's not only white people shit because there was also Hispanics, blacks, and all sorts of people there.
Red man just got his, like, professional, He just jumped enough times so that now he can go and do that shit solo.
No, I just know a lot. Like people be like, "Oh, that's you got to be a certain type of individual." No, man, there was an old person. There was a person there who had I don't know what they call the disability.
Sarah told me to the head, like the walker.
Yeah, so he went. I don't want to hear nobody say they can't do it because they're that's not something that our people does or that people do.
She was like, yeah, there's like old people there and stuff too. I was like, well, people were getting their bucket list checked off.
Open-mindedness in this category will help you.
I know Pop said he'll do it. So
yeah, I just feel like you shouldn't be close-minded because you feel like you might be judged because you're gonna do it or because people feel like
who's gonna judge you.
I don't know. People be crazy. Don't be mad. Oh, my mom said. My mom said, listen. She also probably had a life before you, and mom ain't gonna tell you what she did, but I'm guaranteeing it's the equivalent of jumping out of a fucking plane somewhere somehow in that story.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that.
Well, metaphorically jumping out of a plane.
She did something that's freeing.
Freeing, yes. And we won't get into exactly what that freeing was, but just know that she'll be okay, and you'll be okay too.
Whatever those equivalents are, I don't want to know. I'm not interested to hear.
That dude story. Jumping when he came down with the disability. He was like this face he had was like just super. I needed that. Like it's feeling a little bit just letting go of control. I think is the lesson of skydiving.
Yeah,
and I know it's something. I think it's metaphorical for a lot of shit. So I think it's important to talk about it. But I feel like if you can let go of control, you can kind of embrace like that moment, and that's what you got to do in the skydiving. Like. It's so hard because once you fall, like your tunnel vision comes like this because you're just fucking warp speed to you, right? As a human.
And I think that's probably why going more than once is ideal because then you can kind of. It's like when you watch a movie multiple times and you catch things that you didn't catch the first time.
I think it's important that I go again because of that. Because it was so quick. That 45 seconds felt probably like 30 seconds. right?
It felt at least like 2/3 of what it actually was.
We went faster. We went so fast that it felt faster, right?
Okay.
And I mean, you're just looking at like the ground. You're looking at the fucking ground and all of the fucking structures and everything coming at you so quickly. You're just like trying to take it in. It's just like, holy shit. And then you look up and there's the horizon and you're just fucking flying towards it. You're like, we're going to fucking fly off the earth. You don't fly off the earth though.
I was watching some shit yesterday. It was like on comedy.tv. They did like weird weather things. I don't know. It was really weird. But one of the segments was there's like these guys from France who like adrenaline junkies apparently, right? So they did, they had 3 hot air balloons go up all together. And they were all attached by like a tight wire, like you would find in a circus.
Did they walk?
So they were trying to walk across from one to the other, but they all had parachutes on.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, it was like a win-win, right? Like either I'm gonna make it across this and be like, oh shit, I'm the first guy to ever do that. But if I fall, I got a parachute and I'm safe anyway. So I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool little idea, I guess. I wouldn't really need to do that. Like I still want to do the hot air balloon thing.
I don't know if I want to. The hot air balloon doesn't really entice me. What's so cool
that's
about
great.
that?
I said I would like.
What's
to
so cool about it? You give me a reason why it's cool.
Because now you're talking about.
I think you should be able to jump out of the air that balloon.
The cool thing to me
parachute.
about a hot air balloon is that you are whatever you can go super fucking high up, however high you go.
How high do they go?
They were high up enough to fucking jump out and use a parachute. Anyway,
I don't think you need
so
to
you
be
get
that
up there.
high.
You get up there. You have full control for the most part. Hopefully, barring any kind of unforeseen circumstances, and you can just kind of get a view, the bird's eye view, without having to like rush. And it's not a 45-second fall. You're up there. I don't know. To me, it's just kind of cool. I think it'd be cool, like a date night type of thing. Like, let's go into the sky and then look at things.
Look at you being romantic.
And then get jiggy with it. Na.
I think you should be able. It should be bigger than that little basket then. Should be
Well,
a
it
place
depends.
where
There's different sizes.
You should be able to fuck up there because and there shouldn't be anybody else up there with you.
There's different.
There should be like a driver in the balloon, like what do they call those things? Blimps.
Yes.
What's the difference between a blimp and a hot air balloon? Absolutely nothing. It's the same thing.
No.
It's flown off gases and shit.
A blimp is completely enclosed, so there's that.
Only because they want it to be. You got to drive it. It looks cool that way.
It's not a submarine.
It's the submarine of the sky.
Pretty much, I guess.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but
Well, yeah. So, in conclusion,
go skydiving.
yeah,
y'all.
man, for sure. Adam would have been there. For sure. He's not one that wouldn't do it.
Nah, I know a little
He
biatch,
just,
man. Yeah.
he just, going through it right now. So,
Also, what I want to do is, it's not really that relatable, I guess, but I'm trying to hit Six Flags at some point. Go hit some rides.
This made me want to go to Six Flags, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anything's gonna feel that great. I might have to like go swinging. You know that one that they got the I don't even know if they still have it now. The where you would just
Vertical
jump
velocity?
off. No, the one where you would be like literally tethered.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
vest.
Nah, listen, I think we've been through this before, but I would much rather skydive than bungee jump.
Oh, dude,
I'm trying to bungee jump.
Me and Vivi were talking about this specific topic yesterday about. Oh man, I would rather.
Ever since that Fresh Prince episode, man.
Dude, I'd rather go.
I'm not doing it. No.
Will you? Will I what? Trevor. Will was like,
He's like, think he's supposed to fall like that.
that shit. I would rather skydive than parasail.
That's the only comparable thing that I've done in my life.
Yeah.
Because of being
How
on a
high were you?
parachute.
How high did you get up at the peak?
Not that high. I don't know.
They didn't do well for you guys.
Well, like the highest. We were at the highest that we could be.
How high do you think that is? A couple hundred feet, maybe more.
150 feet, maybe.
Really?
I don't
That's
think it's
it?
anything super crazy. Yeah.
Really? That's all? Mm-hmm. You think it's only 150 feet?
High enough to be above all of the like fucking.
Because when we
hotel
watch
rooms
them
and
when we're
shit.
at these resorts, right? It's always interesting. You're just like, they're pretty high up, and then they do something to make them come down, and the guy skimmed his feet.
When you're a professional, that's how it works.
When you're unprofessional, you almost kill the people.
Yeah, you can't have recurring business if I'm gonna die up there.
I wouldn't come back to this.
I can't give you a review.
Yeah, so I don't think I would parasail based on your experience. I don't. Daniel said he's gonna go.
You can do it, just don't do it in a place where it's not regulated.
Daniel wants to bungee jump. No, I wouldn't go parasail.
Like go like.
I've heard too many. Like no, I'm good. I wouldn't parasail.
Go like coastline of the U.S. Like one of the coastal cities here. They're actually like regulated and they pay attention and they do things appropriately. I don't know where the fuck, like they just didn't do things right.
Honestly, it's not that important for me to get on the parasail.
It's cool. I had a good time before I almost drowned. But
my guy said he paraglided before off a mountain,
cool.
which is fucking nuts.
I ain't gonna do that shit ever. But
I would paraglide.
Like in the fucking
like Carol and Kumar.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if there's like food at the end of it. Like, what kind of food is it, dude?
You saw the fucking penis carved into the.
Yo, so I on a side note, I washed this hat with. I didn't wash it in the washer. I used Rejuvenator, and Rejuvenator is a pretty fucking good brand. And we aren't any kind of sponsor.
No,
we aren't sponsored by them. We aren't sponsored.
Your shoes dirty as fuck. Get some Rejuvenator.
We aren't sponsored by anybody. In fact, however. I've been rocking with that shoe cleaner for a long time. I think we've discussed it.
They have systems for hats that are dishwasher, not washer. Like not clothes washer.
That seems like it might be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Though dishwashers use a lot of they leave a lot of residue. I mean, how would the hat look after? What would that look like?
It depends. I mean,
I literally just fucking
if you have an inefficient dishwasher, then sure.
I used like the different brushes. And I literally scrubbed every surface of that hat, excuse me. And I did that with like 4 hats, and it cleaned them perfectly.
That's what's up.
One hat I had was when it went through the TSA at the airport through the screening, it came out on the other side by itself and had like black marks all over it, like it had been beat up in the machine.
Dude, I don't know what kind of nasty things have gone through
inside. There's things like, "What's up, motherfucker?"
I don't know what kind of nasty things have gone through those conveyor belts, but people are gross, so I'm sure nasty things.
Yeah, so I that happened. I think the second Puerto Rico trip, right? And I hadn't worn it the whole time. I didn't even.
All of your accessories just go through hell,
Man, dude.
Whenever you travel.
Well, they do. But I mean, honestly, traveling that's like having disposable things like that, like the sunglasses are important, like things like that. But yes, I hadn't worn that hat even through Mexico the first time. So this, I was like, man, I really want to bring that fucking hat. I really like it. So I was like, fuck it. I scrubbed the shit out of it, man. It cleaned off all the black marks.
Those fucking 7s, I had them. I transported them via suitcase from Austria, I think is where I got them. Yeah. Because it's the only place, like they didn't have them, they were out of stock here already at that point. It was like a month or 2 months after they came out. I still was able to get them there. I don't like to travel with things like that, man. Like they were like squished in the suitcase because obviously they don't treat your suitcases box, very lovely when they're. I got the box out of here. I left it there because it just. I'm not gonna try to put the box in there.
Yeah, I'll travel with kicks like.
There's like special suitcases now that make it a lot easier.
Yeah, I would definitely buy if I was more of a if we're gonna go on a trip where we're gonna be doing a lot of walking and I might need shoes because maybe it's not super hot. Then I'm gonna buy one of these specific the Shrine bag. They have a really dope backpack that's like made for a couple pairs of kicks and on the other side like 3 days worth of outfits.
See, these are the type of things people are like, oh, I like sneakers. What can I do outside of that? And like a business perspective, and they're like,
you gotta fill a need.
Traveling, yeah, you know what I mean?
Fill a need.
Like I told you, the bigger problem you solve, the more money you stand to make. It's always stuck with me.
But I will definitely buy one of those for that type of trip. But like on these island trips, I've realized I only need one pair of shoes, and it's usually like a really nice, crispy white pair of shoes because it just makes sense. And then I wear shorts on these trips with swim trunks. Draws are optional.
I think when we went to Dominican, I had.
And usually I option for no.
I think I had the shoes that I got on the plane with, and that was it. The rest were just sandals and shit. Because the fuck, I'm staying on a beach. I ain't.
Well, I like just in case if you're gonna go like out to dinner, just once.
I got the ones that I came with.
Well, I don't like to travel with shoes on. I travel with sandals on because this way.
I thought you were retiring the slide game until you get
on the trips.
Yeah,
that's part of the trip.
So you wear them.
So it's easier to take your slides off.
Whatever's clever, man.
Like Vivi, every time she'll be wearing sneakers, I'll be like, why the fuck you ain't wear your Crocs? This is specifically for this type of environment. She had to untie them and tie them every time she fucking put them on.
I mean, that's only an issue if you tie your sneakers.
I literally pop. I'm like, I got all my shit in the thing. I'm like, we ready. I travel minimally, like in that regard. But if you are trying to bring as many pairs of sneakers as possible, it makes sense to put a pair of shoes on. Right.
But see, like usually if I'm going on like a trip where it's not on the beach all day, I'll throw like a pair of sneakers or two in my carry-on.
And then, honestly, one dope pair or stunning if you will call it that. But also I think you should bring like the most comfortable pair of shoes you can for these walking, for the walking that you're gonna do.
For sure. And I don't really have many that aren't comfortable when you wear them for an extended period of time.
Yeah, no, I get it. But no, I think that's the nuances of like traveling with sneakers. Like you got to
Only
be
the Jordan Futures, man. Those, for whatever reason, they always make my foot cramp.
Hated those Futures.
They make my foot cramp. I don't know what it is. It's like
it's not a good shoe.
No,
I have them and I don't know what to do.
But I think I spent like $30 on those. So
I think I paid like $110 for them shits when they bought them.
No, wasn't about to do that.
So mad.
I don't even like the way they look aesthetically. I was just like,
well, they're the Gamma joints, like the Gamma Futures, but they're not really nice.
Yeah, what happens?
It does. It's terrible. I don't even know where they are. I think. Oh, actually, I do know where they are. Never mind. Anyway, yes. Well, I don't know what to say about those shoes.
Yeah, they're just not the most comfortable that I've ever owned.
I mean, listen, you can't. They can't all be hits, and that's why they keep re-releasing shit.
Yeah,
you know. But I mean, we haven't gotten to sneakers yet. But I would just like to point out that I've had 2 sneaker wins in a row, and I'll caveat that with 2 sneaker attempts in a row, right? So like, it hasn't been. Oh, I bought.
You're 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2 in attempts.
Nice.
So I got the stealths before.
After how many failed attempts?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I listen.
2 for 2 in the last however long.
But
you gotta compartmentalize that.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm gonna just say for now, them 2 for 2.
Because it makes it sound like the winning streak is too.
I don't attempt to buy a lot of things, right? Like I really don't. Very rare. But they got the stealths that released the week before I left on the trip. I got those. That was dope. And then I haven't tried for another pair since yesterday. Or since then, until yesterday, which was for the what do they call them? The taxi, the black and yellow Jordan.
They really look a lot like the shattered backboards to me. That's why I was like, I can go with that.
No, they're not.
They look kind of orange. At least
I think I've seen enough videos. They were it maybe an illusion based on what you're watching, but like they're pretty yellow. I'm hoping they're the same quality as the stealths. Pretty dope. Those stealths. I honestly don't know if I'll rock them coming because we got a lot of cold weather coming up. I started to get into boots.
It's true.
Like,
I was gonna actually I have a pair in my Foot Locker cart right now.
Oh, I got a pair of dope joints I got to pick up too. Actually,
some Momoas or whatever they.
What color are they?
Black.
Okay, good. I got a pair of.
I need some new winter boots. I haven't the last year I didn't have them. The year before that I didn't have them, and I was like, man, it's
winter boots are important.
Kind of rough going through the winter without some actual boots, even though I don't have to go places.
The thing about boots is like if you they'll usually last multiple seasons. Like I have like the last pair. I got a pair of ACGs and Momoas as well, the tan ones.
Yeah.
And all I got to do is literally just like pull them out of like storage, and then I'll be rocking them all winter. But I found a pair of leather ones I want, so I'm gonna buy those.
Hey man, it's a good $100 boot like this.
A good
I fuck with the sneaker boot.
A good boot like and because they're so light and like
they have some like Air Force One boot thing too as well.
I don't know if I like those.
Like,
too clunky.
Yeah.
But I wore the Momoas to Yellowstone and they were fucking perfect. Like it's the perfect shoe.
I think the ones I have like some Jordan 1 Trek, whatever. So like they're meant for like hiking type of boot. And that's what I was using last year. I don't want to do that anymore.
No, I'm gonna start looking. You just reminded me. Actually, I'm gonna take a look at those now.
Word.
All right. Well, we'll take a break and we'll be back.
Yes, indeed.
Are you part of the audience, Ben?
That's the sound of us returning.
We bike.
I know we usually like start getting into like topics that actually matter on the second half. So in the vein of keeping that alive, I wanted to give a quick round of applause to John Cena.
Oh, about the Make-A-Wish thing?
He's in the Guinness World Records for the most wishes granted through Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, and like more than everybody else combined, I think, or by like 150. Some weird dude. People suck.
It's really interesting when you think about it. I mean, listen, obviously,
I'm a pretty he's a really good celebrity.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Obviously, like through our and I'll call it an infatuation with the Stone Cold Steve Austin, you can tell that our love for wrestling has gone to childhood days, right? Like he ain't been a wrestler since 2002 or some shit like that. It's been a long time.
Yeah, been a while.
John Cena has never really been somebody who I was a super huge fan of in his wrestling days.
Well,
right?
Was, to be honest, because I mean,
a lot of appropriation going on early on.
Well, we kind of also weren't really interested in wrestling at that point.
Well, it was like it was on the cusp.
Yeah, the cusp. Yeah, but no, I don't remember really watching wrestling at the time he
ushered in the era in which we just really did not care too much about wrestling.
Yeah,
not that there weren't like people who are still we were fans of who were still going, and every once in a while I'd catch a Raw or some shit like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't something I cared for at that point.
But like, his wrestling persona is not something I really necessarily cared for.
But he's a good celebrity.
But he's a good dude, man. Like, can't be mad at him. You know,
I agree.
He came out here. His persona changed after he like entered the world of commercials. Right? Like,
yeah, I mean, once he kind of took the Rock's route, which was to, I mean, basically
he made a career that reached outside
use wrestling as a launching pad for an acting and career.
And it's not like, like Stone Cold did something similar in a way. Like, he has a show, he has a podcast.
Really, but yeah, it took a while.
He did movies and shit like that.
What movies? What movie?
He was in Longest Yard.
I guess.
And there's like one or two that he was in.
I don't know.
There were other people who transcended it. Like, obviously, the Undertaker didn't really like go and do movies and shit like that. There's people who stayed in the wrestling. They kept it in the ring type of thing.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I guess.
And then like Stone Cold now, he has a straight up Steve Austin show. He has a fucking beer. Like, come on, now he did other things outside of wrestling.
Outside of it later, though, I don't agree that he's been in many movies.
Well, I didn't say many,
he wasn't also the main character. Like, I'm talking about like the Rock.
Obviously, the Rock is a standout.
The Rock got into movies as a main character. John Cena's done movies as main characters.
Like what? He did maybe one. I think that was a main.
No,
character.
He's been in a good amount of movies as
he was a main character.
The Marine, or something like that.
Okay, what else?
He's done multiple movies like that.
Well, you should at least have
Just
some
like
examples if you're going to sit here and
Rock
tell me that
did
I'm wrong.
Rundown, Lockdown,
everybody knows what The Rock did. The Rock has 9,000 movies.
There's like all the same.
The Rock is like one of the biggest movie stars of right now.
He is the biggest star that ever came out of wrestling, for sure. But I would even say beyond.
I just don't know what other
beyond Hulk Hogan for sure. Though Hulk was big.
Well, yeah, but I mean, again, talking about shows, like he did Hogan Knows Best or something like that, right?
No, Hulk Hogan he was in a lot of movies, a lot of appearances. He was like the most marketable just at that time. But I think because of how media,
I think a lot is relative.
Well, I'm saying how media. That's what I was about to say. Media's progressed in a different way, right? If Hulk Hogan was around probably now, or let me take that back. If we had what we had,
I don't know where you're going with all these.
I'm just saying
things.
that The Rock. We're talking about like the wrestlers who have progressed beyond the.
I mean, a lot of people have done things, but not a lot have done a lot of things.
There's only a few. The Rock, John Cena, right? John Cena continuously gets roles, and people like he's marketable. He's just.
I'm waiting for examples,
and I'm saying,
like he's done commercials and he's been like commercials and shit. Stone Cold has done commercials. They both did a Tide commercial together.
That Tide commercial is hilarious. If Stone Cold called me on the other end, I'd be like, "What is this? Is this Steve Austin?" But no, I was gonna say, if you were to take the social media era, because I don't think you could take Hulk Hogan and put him now, but if you took the social media era and put it back then, right, with the way the rules were then in social land, he would have been probably just as big as The Rock back then. But this was pretty. Hulk was like, he was around a lot when you were younger, like NWO and shit, but like WCW.
Hulkamania.
Yeah, when WCW was around and he was Hulk Hogan like that, I mean, Hulkamania was real. Like, it was a real fucking thing.
Yes, but that was also still more of a wrestling-centric gimmick.
Well,
it wasn't
I'll tell you,
so much outside of it.
It transpired into other things. I'm saying before your time, though. Like, there was a point where he was like the biggest thing in wrestling and
well, yeah.
And
but I mean, again, you have to remember that
I forget the name of his.
The Attitude Era is really what ushered in the mainstream.
No, you're
wrestling.
You're underestimating. Like,
I think you're overestimating.
No,
it. I'm not saying that he wasn't big. Obviously, he's big. Everybody knows Hulk Hogan.
I'm just saying for that time. You said
as
like
far as
relative,
like
it's relative to that time. It's relative to those days. And
well, then we can get into the nitty gritty of everything.
I would say just like inflation, right? The dollar is worth a little bit different than it was then, right? Or things are worth more. If you would say that The Rock is probably the next progression of Hulk in marketability and everything else from coming from wrestling.
Yeah.
So Hulk Hogan, are you looking that up? Because
I think most of what Hulk Hogan did is like wrestling movies. On his IMDb, No Holds Barred. He was in Rocky, but I mean, he wasn't like. Again, you're talking about like main character.
Top 20 movies featuring Hulk Hogan. He was in Rocky 3, Gremlins, Muppets, Romeo and Juliet, Thunder in Paradise, Suburban Commando.
Yeah, that's fine, but
Hard.
again, not the star of these, and a lot of what he was in was wrestling movies.
But these movies were cheesy back then, so this is okay back then. It was, dude.
Listen, man, get out of here with your damn goalpost that you're moving around.
No, it is. I mean, there's
arguably to the same extent. That's the same thing Stone Cold has done.
Cheesiness is considered differently now. Think about all the what were the fucking
the extent to which he was
that we used to do. Like
that's fine, but the extent to which he was in film and shit outside of wrestling is the same that Stone Cold was in. Same thing. He was never really a main character, and even I think he did actually have a main character movie.
I'll never argue anybody's bigger than Stone
Well,
Cold.
so what are you saying?
But Stone Cold's persona in the ring was bigger than all of theirs.
Yes,
anything. Like,
of course.
I'm saying
He was the
outside
biggest
of the
in
ring,
wrestling.
there's some other things that he probably wasn't as
Okay,
marketable
but your point was The Rock, Hulk Hogan, and John Cena were like on obviously The Rock a little bit higher up.
I'm saying that there's like they're in the list of those types of wrestlers. Like you never seen Triple H go to like.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's some who kept it in the ring, and there are some who.
Do you think that's
did things
because
outside of it?
their personas were really just like only useful in that realm? Like Undertaker really wasn't a.
Well, no, because
Undertaker just played like a distraught man, and then decided he wanted to be a biker for a while, and then went back to being a distraught man.
But think about like the longest yard, for instance. You had Goldberg. You just needed like strong dudes. Like
movies were
to be in there.
cheesy, man.
So you had
you
had Stone Cold and you had Goldberg. You know, like they were both.
Goldberg
in there.
is also probably.
There are just certain roles that they were like, oh, you'd be great for this. Like, let's bring you over.
I will say Goldberg's probably another one of those who was like. Like his charisma outside was just as it was in the ring. Yeah. I think some of them only got to the ring, and that's when their the switch popped on for them, where they were able to like, show who they like or put this persona on. But in those four corners, like I think some of them, the ones that really progressed further were the ones that were able to do it.
And not everybody had the ambition to go further. Like they were cool with their superstardom in the wrestling realm.
I think The Rock knew from an early point he was going to do something else.
But I'm telling you right now, based off of all of the shit that I've watched, all of the documentaries, all the whatever, the Attitude Era is what ushered in like the mainstream audience to the wrestling world.
For
like,
sure. And then they
yes, Hulkamania was big, but WCW was never as big as WWF.
Well, again, I agree with that. I agree. But
you had your 80s era, of course, like people who are 70s prior
adjusted for inflation. All I'm saying is Hulk was probably just as big as The Rock was. No, not like now.
Your Macho Man, Randy Savage, Andre the Giants and whatnot.
Not now, because The Rock has progressed to where you should be president.
Again, that's
you
what I'm
should
saying.
Be this and that.
The Rock is arguably like the biggest movie star today. Outside, not the biggest athlete turned movie star,
the biggest draw,
the biggest movie star,
draw, as you would say, right? The biggest,
but like that's the same thing. You know?
Like, the fact, I mean, and I don't know what the conversation.
Like
really
he's gonna be in a Marvel movie.
But
Black Adam's coming out soon. You know, like that's pretty big once you go from wrestling to being a star of a superhero movie. Come on,
I'll give him that. Okay, so here's what differentiates the ones that move into movies and the ones who progress in the movies is where you overcome the cheesy. The vision, the perception of you being cheesy in a movie.
Well, people used to chant "Rocky sucks."
This guy used to be in a fucking wrestling ring. He's not an actor. Once you progress past that, and they start accepting you in bigger roles, more complex roles, more whatever.
Yeah,
that's when you move past the other guys who have just made it to the movies as well.
Speaking of those guys, I was actually just watching
but that's I wanted to see John Cena too.
I was watching one of the interviews with Kurt Angle.
Yo, some of these guys are different than I remember them. No.
Well, it's funny because they were like, he was an Olympic gold medalist. That's how they sold him, right? And basically, like Vince McMahon told him right away that he was going to be the heel, and he was like, "I'm not really like comfortable in that role, like whatever." I don't
want to be evil.
Like he's like here in Philadelphia, whatever. He's like, I'm like, my family's pretty well known. Like my brother was like, always pretty high up there as far as wrestling goes. Minus like professional, like the highest level you could be before professional, essentially. And he's like, he went to 2 Olympics and fell short of making the team, and then he's like, I quit there. He's like, and then like whatever a month or so past his little like quitting there, he's like, man, like I'm this close, and he went back and that's when he got the gold, and it's just like a weird story, something you don't really expect because. He was a heel. Like I didn't like him
because he was so like feisty and annoying.
But that's like what they wanted out of him, And it's the more you learn now, the more you realize how how much that was set up, right? Like Vince McMahon was basically giving their personas
This
and
is
like
what you're gonna be in this thing. And
yeah.
This is what yeah.
So it was like almost predetermined.
So he's actually been in a good amount. He actually has that show on Netflix. He's the main character. But then
John
he was
Cena?
yeah. So let's see. God damn it! Well, this website's moving slow. IMDb, get your shit together.
Yeah, that's why my man got straight up Steve Austin.
Peacemaker is what it's called on Netflix. He was in. We know he was in Raw and SmackDown.
Really?
Oh, Vacation Friends, Suicide Squad. He was in Fast 9, Die Hard. I don't know what that. Oh, was that Kevin Hart? He was in Dr. Dolittle. He was a voice, but he's done a lot. 64th Man. I don't know. That's another episode website. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying he's been a part of a lot more than you're giving him credit for.
Yes, but
Maybe I'm giving him a little too much and you're giving him too little.
No,
I don't agree about that.
No, I don't think so.
You motherfucker. Let's just move on then.
Well, anyway, again, just a round of applause for him, because that's big time.
Yeah, just like we didn't. Not to get off that. That's huge.
We're talking about Make a Wish. I mean, like,
how much did they say he had? 250, something like that.
I don't know what the specific number is.
There was a number they had.
But
he's got over a specific amount.
Yeah. But it's yeah. I mean, that's awesome, man. Like you can't really undercount that.
No, because I think, listen, time is valuable, and a lot of these people aren't giving it. And for him to give his time, which arguably is probably pretty valuable, as
he's one of the guys who understands, like, let me give back. Like.
Yeah,
appreciate the people who put me where I'm at.
Nice person. Like if you've seen interviews, he's like actually a nice person.
Because he came out talking about "You Can't See Me" and some like the longest jean shorts of all time, and
he would run into that fucking ring like
he had a fucking like little armband on that was like way too small for his arm.
It's really dope. Really
it was hilarious, But like
I've told you the story. Speaking of armbands, right? When that the people's elbow became a joke. Well, it started off as a joke. And that's how it became his finisher. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah.
I don't know if did I tell you on the pod?
I don't remember.
So
give us the highlights.
Basically, the gist of this is that I guess in the ring they used to try to make each other laugh or break character. Right? This is like some of the stuff they did would be inside. And internally they're all trying to like just make each other break character or laugh. Now I don't remember if it was Triple H or Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. I know Austin was in it, I think.
It's everybody.
I'm just saying, I don't know who it was.
All of the superstars.
But The Rock, to try to make them break character, is that's what spawned the people's elbow, right? So he threw the fucking sleeve off. He bounced from one side,
kicked him in the arm,
threw his leg out, and did it. And I forget who it was, but it got them to chuckle just a little bit.
It's still hilarious to me that was ever a finishing move. Like you just elbowed them in the arm essentially, and then you pinned them. Like they couldn't get up from that.
It's the people's elbow, though. It's the people's elbow. It's not just the Rock's. It's the people's.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but that's the story of that, which is pretty funny.
If you like watch the Rock's. Basically, his whole path throughout his career, right? He came in as Rocky Maivia or whatever, and everybody was chanting the Rocky sucks. And then he joined, I forgot what the name of the crew is that he was in.
Nation of Domination.
Nation of Domination. There you go. And then he developed his eyebrow thing, and then he became the people's champion, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Yo,
started singing and shit
with this little stupid fucking ukulele. Yo, not to get off topic of The Rock, but stay on the same topic of wrestling. Did you see Action Bronson? What's that? AEW is it? Is that the other alternative?
There's a couple of
wrestling.
Yeah, that's one of them.
He was in a match. This motherfucker he suplexed the shit out of somebody, man. Shit was, but like he's lost a lot of weight and gained a lot of strength in what he does, which super fucking shout out, round of applause for Action Bronson.
All right, man, let's give it up.
Look at the shit's got all labels and whatnot.
Yeah, I knew where to find the applause right away.
But no, a round of applause.
And applause for me.
He lost
doing that.
Yeah, word. So he lost a lot of weight, right? A lot, drastic amount. But he was big, and but he does a lot of like, I think powerlifting, but he's debuted in a tag team match, in AEW, which is cool, man. Good for him.
Look at that. It's funny
pretty dope.
because people used to use wrestling as a launch pad. Now people are going to wrestling. Ronda Rousey, she was just talking about.
Yeah, but I don't like Ronda Rousey.
Well, I mean, that's not the point. I don't care if you like her or not.
No,
I'm just saying she used that. They've gone from
it didn't work. I don't think she wrestles.
Well, she was just making some statement the other day about get me more matches type of shit.
Yeah, but nobody likes her. She's got a stupid attitude. It's just stupid attitude, Ronda.
Oh, man. Listen, I don't pay that much attention.
And if you really break it down, the name Ronda, not attractive.
I don't think she's trying to be attractive. She's trying to whoop people's asses.
So there was at one point I was like, man, she's kind of attractive. And then I was like, no, she's not kind of attractive at all.
Nah, not that.
But beyond that, do you remember when she got beat? That match, that girl had her. She was like, oh shit! See, I can't even pull. That's how much Ronda's ass got whooped in that match. I'm just not a fan of hers. I was.
I mean, listen.
But did you see? So there's that.
At least they moved from the demeaning part of women things.
Have you?
It used to be
not really.
It used to be the divas.
Have you seen Nikita?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying it used to be the women in wrestling used to be the ones who accompanied the men, or they used to be the divas. You used to have your Trish Stratuses and Stacy Keeblers and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Nikita's.
All right, listen, calm down here, Jazzy Jeff. All right, we're not
bad.
Yeah, that's fine. They could still be bad and not be demeaned at the same time.
But still, she's really bad. And then there's that another UFC chick, Valerie Loretta, I think her name is.
I don't know.
Whoa. Wow. What's Borat say? Wow.
No,
I think it
wow,
was. Wow, wee wah. Either way. Wow, wee wah. But I not enough to make me watch wrestling. I just follow you on IG.
But I don't know much about current state of wrestling. I remember I watched a year ago. I watched an episode of SmackDown or some shit, and I was like,
it went to
what is this? So this is terrible.
What they did was go to a
they took
PG
the sports
format.
Entertainment part out of it.
It's like a PG format now. I think
Yeah,
you can't really curse and you can't drink beer like Austin used to do.
Yeah.
Yo, they took a. You know what they did?
Man. Used to be chicks in the audience what it is.
You know what they did is they fired a man because Austin left.
Yeah.
He had a job because he could throw a beer accurately.
That's true.
Pretty accurately. I mean, I would say his clip was fairly high, actually.
Yeah. And for having just finished, a match most of the time, obviously he had his little beer batches.
Austin could catch the shit out some beers.
He was catching them, no problem. And I was like, this is pretty good.
It was funny. They would drop.
Just the little things you don't really.
They would fall on the floor. He wouldn't even. He'd just no, come on, I want that.
I'm not bending over for that. Just pass me another one.
He would get it on the way out, just grab and crack.
And after years of doing this, nobody understood that they were gonna get stunned after sharing a beer with him. I think there was maybe one occurrence where he didn't, and it was probably with Goldberg.
Question: would you? Yeah, that's true. Would you knowingly have a beer with Austin in that ring, knowing you'd get stunned? And in this world, stunning hurts.
I would cheers it with him, and as I'm drinking it, I would
run
back
away
because he's gonna drink one too, and then he's gonna stop it before you do, and then
He's gonna throw the beer at your head so you don't run away. You're gonna bounce off the ring. I mean, off the fucking ropes. You're gonna jump right into his fucking lap. He's gonna kick you in the dick, and then your fucking neck is gonna be right on his shoulder, and he's gonna stun you.
I would probably drink a beer with him, but also
I would too. But I would savor it. I would be I would try to cheers a lot.
I was watching. Remember,
Austin,
I told you I have
awesome.
I have that Attitude Era DVD set or whatever.
Yeah.
So they showed the aftermath of one of his matches with The Rock, and he was literally for the next 20 minutes after their match. It wasn't televised, right? Like a normal,
just drinking.
But he was drinking and stunning him over and over again.
The Rock.
He was just dead on the floor, and every time he got up, he just got another stunner. I was like, man, this is hilarious.
They had a lot of fun back then.
They had a lot of fun,
right? I think it's
you had to go to the matches, man. There's a lot you missed when you didn't go.
That's the coolest thing about it, right? We grew up in a time where it was prime our childhood.
Yeah,
we were able to go to, I think 2, maybe 3 matches. I don't remember. I can't remember.
I think we went to one that was not televised.
We went to one untelevised.
Because I remember
we were by the ring once or twice.
Yeah. Well, when I was listening to that Kurt Angle interview, he was talking about that the first appearance he was gonna make was gonna be a televised one. He was like, I don't know, like I'm ready for like a televised match. And I was like, it's so funny that they had them that weren't televised, and you just have to hear about it like on the next
next one. Like what happened was no, that shit was crazy. I mean, but the idea that we were like just like the MJ era, we were there when we were, you know, you were a little younger, but I mean,
we definitely had like the prime childhood.
The 90s were a really good era, man.
Yeah.
I think it's like you can't really argue that unless you want to. But I don't think it would. I don't think the argument stands. That's the thing. Like the argument doesn't stand. It just doesn't.
I got a beef with Joe Budden. He over here. He keeps trying to like push Ish's buttons, right? So he's like, I'm ready to have this conversation talking about LeBron potentially being better than MJ, and I'm like, I know you're just doing that to like antagonize him, but stop. Don't do that, you know.
I haven't. I'm about 10 episodes, but I was catching up. Then I went on my trip, and when I go on my trips, I stopped like listening to podcasts for a few, like just because I got, you know, I'll be like, I'm just not interested.
I mean, you're on a trip. Who cares? You know?
Like even after, like for a couple weeks, I just don't listen. To shit.
No, I listen. I work and I listen. I work.
I mean, it would be ideal for me, but some days I just don't feel like hearing shit. I just be like, all right, let me do what I'm doing. But so I'm gonna catch up to it. How's the new set doing?
It's nice. The chairs look like they're real comfortable.
I noticed that. I was like, he probably looked a long time to find a good podcast chair.
They have a Parks camera now.
I seen that too.
So I'm like, oh, Parks is on camera. Like this is unusual.
It's
you know?
weird. I'm like, that's how Parks looks when he talks.
I'm like, Parks. I'd never pictured that.
Like stop putting Parks on camera. Like I knew what Parks looked like. I just didn't. I was like, that's what he looks like when he's saying things. I don't like this.
Yeah, like I think the last time I saw him before they started like doing the camera thing, he had like a longer head of hair.
Yeah, like a shaggy hair, but that was like COVID shit.
Yeah, but now he just looks like a real skinny, lanky white guy. You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know,
whatever. You know?
Don't judge a book by its cover, man.
Nah, I'm not. I'm not.
I promise.
I've actually got like the contents before the cover in a way with him because he wasn't really on camera ever.
All right.
I don't know. Do we care at all about Adam Levine and his?
Oh, I was going to bring that up, but before I do, because that's going to be a topic. That's hilarious. I mean, it's fucked up. But
well,
it's
he's just a big stupid idiot.
So as I was, I was taking the shoelace and just kind of like putting it back in. Don't fucking go crazy, shoe freaks.
As the people will tell you, that's fidgeting and it's a sign of ADHD. Yeah.
Well, I'm not debating any of that. But
we were born with that in our generation.
Yeah, more than likely. But I've threaded it through, and it reminded me of when they would put the harness on yesterday. And that shit, I was just watching, I was like, okay, well, that looks like it's like the other one, so that should be okay.
Are you sure this is on right, man?
Dude, I swear to God, like the whole time, he was like, I was watching, I was like, okay, so he strapped that one, he made that time, okay. Oh, he did that. Okay, so that should be fine.
I'll be asking him like, so what should this do,
dude?
All right, let me make sure this is like in.
So these shoulder straps, like they were like backpacks essentially, not a backpack, but like that's how it felt. They didn't feel super tight initially, right? I'm like, okay. I was like, everything is tight, right? Like, it feels good, but these are a little loose. That doesn't make sense, but I guess it makes sense because then how would I walk around if they were just super tight on me, you know? So
it's true. And you don't want like too much.
And that's what I meant when I sat down between dude's legs. Pause. He like clipped in and he tightened, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes.
You guys have to like walk in stride together.
No, it's not like. Well,
okay, right foot, right foot.
That's the funny thing. We weren't tethered until we were on the plane, so we didn't walk together, and we untethered. He unclipped when we landed. Landing is hilarious because he's like early on. He's like, all right, listen, tuck your knees to your chest, and that's the most difficult thing ever. I got it and it was fine, but like, I don't know if it's because of like how the blood is rushed maybe to your head or to your other extremities or whatever. But like, I was like, ugh. And he's like, all right, because when we land, I want you to do like to lift your legs up straight, so you basically become an L. And man, it's like just before you're
gonna land on your ass,
your legs go up. You're like. And as you're landing, it like finally hits that L point. But like, I don't know if it's because of gravity. It probably is a whole bunch of physics and things that I didn't understand in school. But it was fucking funny. But yeah, I remember like getting the harness on, and you're just like, okay, I've never done this before, but I guess this is probably the right way he did it before. That guy, you gotta trust
them.
I asked him.
That's the scary thing. You gotta put like full trust in somebody you ain't never met
I asked
before.
him. I was like, "How long you been doing this, man?" Like, he's like 13 years. I was like, 13 years. He's probably done a lot.
I'm like, yo, you're not depressed or anything like that, are you?
You're not mad.
Not having a bad day,
but
not having a bad time. How's your love life? Everything good?
He's actually the guy that jumped with Sarah. So he was like good. I was like 13 years. All right, well. 13 years, even if you've only done one person a year, you've done it 13 times. I guess that's okay.
So got some experience here.
Right,
I guess
it's more experience than I got. I can't say you didn't do it right, but I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me.
It's weird. You gotta think about that. Kind of gotta give them your life.
Yeah, you know? I basically what I said is I just said you can't control this, man. Like really, I tell you, I had no fucking nerves about it. I was anxious as fuck to get it done because I wanted to get up there and see what this experience is that I've been envisioning for so long, how it's going to feel. I'll tell you this. Nothing like I envisioned.
Okay. Well, you know.
Nothing. Like, I thought, okay, you're on a plane.
It's probably like how Adam Levine felt when he was asking the girl if he can use her name for his child.
That was hilarious.
He didn't think it was going to be anything.
It was
nothing like what he expected.
So to clarify, and I need to know, so in this Adam Levine story, what happened was he had a mistress, right?
Which he alleges he'd never fucked,
but
he had flirtatious behavior with apparently.
But apparently, did they have a child together or no? He had a child with his wife or fiance. I don't know who this is.
But wife.
Okay, so they were married. They had a child. He then attempted to name said child of his relationship, his marital,
his non-bastard child. You know?
Yes,
I don't know what you call a legitimate child. I guess
it's a legitimate child. Yes, he wanted to name his legitimate child after his mistress,
after the woman that he was supposedly not tagging.
And did his wife know this, or he was just like, all right, this is a beautiful name?
There's like a report that she was complicit in his affair, his extramarital situation.
Who was complicit? His wife. She knew.
Evidently, and she approved of it.
So that's not like extramarital; it's just more marital.
But based on what like his like little apology thing that he put out, it doesn't sound like that's a legitimate story. So I don't really know.
So I wouldn't assume to be. But okay, so that means that all right. Let's play both.
Some women are cool. Like
let's play both scenarios
out. You want to go and like
let's play
get some other chicks when we're together. That's
real quick. All right. So first scenario is she knew, right? Hey, what do you think about this chick, right? You know the one
kind of high.
You know the one. No. Like that's not like I'm talking about. Like now that they know about each other. Not like let's holler at this chick. Like they're in the relationship. She knows he's fucking. They had the kid, and this girl knows, but he's talking to his wife now, right? He's like, Well,
if in this scenario, she would have had to have approved before they started.
Well, what do you mean?
You're talking about like if the wife was complicit.
Well, the wife. He had a baby with the wife.
Right.
Why would the wife need to? She only had to be there in a.
Oh, so you're talking about them two, or like?
Yeah, they're talking now about what the baby's name should be. He's like, I was thinking, this bitch, right?
Like, oh, girl got a nice name.
I was just wondering, maybe, if. I mean, it's not that she's so important to me or anything, but I just feel like maybe we should. I think it'd be really cool. It'd be cool of you. You'd be really fucking cool, man, if you let us name our baby after the other bitch I'm fucking.
I feel like,
and she would be, and let's play her. Well, I'm not really happy about the request.
Yeah, that's not the voice of anybody I would want to talk to. Like, I would cut that communication off immediately.
Well, this isn't your decision, but it is my baby. And you did give it to me. I mean, it's part of yours.
I mean, listen, personally, I wouldn't want a child named after a woman I was doing what I do with. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird to me.
I mean, I'm saying he really had to love her.
No, but gross.
All right, so
like I'm fucking this woman, and now I have a child who I have to call their name.
Can you?
When I have to, no, it's not happening.
What if
straight?
I think, right? I told my boy this, right? It's just me because my mind is this way. It's only for comedy, really. It's only for jokes. I think and in my scenario, she don't know because it don't make sense if she knows.
Well,
right?
you said you wanted to play both out, so we did the first and then we do the second.
The second one plays out with her probably shooting him or something. I don't know. But listen, this is what I think about this whole situation. If I'm Adam Levine, one, It's pretty bold, man. It's a bold fucking move. See how it plays out, Cotton. But that being said, bold as it may have been, bold as it was, had he gotten away with this, right?
Which apparently did for a while.
Had he circumvent, I don't know that.
Until he was being stupid.
Had he circumvented.
Well, you don't DM and have this kind of conversation.
But no, I'm saying getting away with it, to me.
Yo, people, if you're going to get busy outside of your relationship,
people are
don't DM that woman.
It's really stupid.
One bad argument, and that shit is all over the world now.
So, in my scenario,
right.
Getting away with it to me means the baby's name is that, and it's been that for a while, and nobody knows. So
until they know,
in my mind, if
still not getting away with it, they find out eventually.
Well, listen, in my scenario, this is how it should play out. If he were to be able to circumvent all of these forces around him and get that baby's named after his mistress for whatever weird fucking reason he got it that way, right? Whatever weird fucking psychological thing he's going through. If he was able to get it there, right? I think if the baby's name remains that for a month without anybody finding out, after that, it should go into Grand Theft Auto rules. And if you get into the garage safely, it doesn't matter if the cops are right behind you. You've completed the mission, right? That's what I think. I think he should have been able to. It should be.
Well, that's been adjusted. In the later Grand Theft Autos, you have to lose them before you get into the thing.
We're talking about like early GTA 3, right?
I mean,
so
can't play by yesterday's
baby's name,
today.
right? Baby's name, month, baby's name.
I don't know.
And everybody in party's got to eat that.
To me, it's just extraordinarily weird that he would want that.
It's mad weird, but I think
But I always thought Adam Levine was kind of weird anyway, and I'm like, man, I hate when I share my name with people who I deem to be weird.
No, he's done a lot of songs. I don't know any of them.
I'm sure there's probably songs that you know that you didn't know were
Give
Maroon
me
5
an Adam
songs.
song.
I don't know.
Give me a Maroon 5 song.
I don't know them based on their title, but I'm sure that I know songs. I just don't know that they're at Maroon 5. Mostly because, like I worked in a grocery store and they played songs that were popular hit music.
The infamous playlist. These stores now have way better playlists. Like, you ever gone and you're like, this is what they're playing in here?
No, I try not to listen anymore.
Oh, well.
I'm like scarred. I got like PTSD from that shit.
I've worked in mad retail too, and all different stores, all different times of the year.
I know, but they're just...
the weather outside is frightful.
Well, that's fine. You can hear that anywhere you're at. Whoa, but for 8 years, if you're listening to any random song that comes to your head, and you're like, why the fuck do I know this song? Like, no.
I know that. The first cut is the deepest.
Well, there's a lot more than that. But
I don't know why, but that song played at least every 5 songs at Home Depot. You're like, enough.
There's the one song.
You're already paying me terrible money. Give me a fucking break.
On the 21st, of course, because that was the name of where the song was going anyway. Do you remember the 21st night of September? That was also one that they played a lot. So there's songs that like, there's some good songs, but it ruins them for you.
I don't know why. I don't know why this popped in my head. But I guess because I'm stinking seasons, I have to have a costume for this year, right?
Why?
Because Max is having a thing, and I'm pretty sure he told.
He's having a shindig.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm pretty sure he told you.
Ain't nobody tell me shit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you anyway. So it's there. But anyway,
it's not a very good communicator.
It's a costume party. I'm gonna talk to him. I gotta call him today. I called him yesterday. He called me before skydiving. He's like, yo, I'm not a praying man, but be thinking about you guys. I mean, a lot of people were pretty scared of it. I was just like, well, like, you're not doing it. You're not jumping.
All I could do was just make a joke because that's how life works for me. It's a big joke.
Life's pretty jokey. So, yeah, I got to have a costume, right? And Vivi's like...
Does Vivi ask you like, oh, let's do like a tandem costume?
Well, I don't mind like matching costumes.
I don't mind a couple of costumes.
We can do that. I don't mind. It's just got to be clever.
Let's do Mario and Luigi.
Let me tell you what's
peanut butter and jelly.
Let me tell you what's not clever.
Apples and bananas.
No. Let me tell you what's clever. What's not clever, or what's
do a loofah and soap.
No, this motherfucker said, let's be Ike and Tina Turner. I was like, I don't know if you've seen anything about their relationship.
Might as well just be Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston.
So I was like, you want me to walk around all night as the man that beats women, right? And you don't have anything but sympathy from everybody because now everybody's stupid and they're like, oh, Tina, And Ike's over here just chilling, eating from the dip because he don't normally beat women. He's just dressed as Ike Turner. Not only because Tina told him to do it. So the woman that he beats apparently makes him wear costumes. I don't know. To me, it seems like a reason he could have beat her. That's what I'm just playing. That's just jokes. I promise that's a joke. But in my opinion, all I'm saying is I'm not going as Ike. I was like, we could go anywhere in the world of duos.
That's hilarious.
I was like, we could be anything you want. Just don't pick a woman beater as the costume I have to wear for the evening. It's like, do you understand? It's like, I think there's certain things you don't do.
You guys should go as Ricky and Lucy.
I actually said that. I actually said that. I would do it. You got the little high waters on with the white socks and the black shoes with the red lapel.
Come on, give us your Ricky Ricardo laugh. Lucy, I'm home. See, I just took mine from Fab after he said, I'm in a gelato, laughing like Ricky Ricardo.
And then, but then there's the Eddie Murphy.
I was watching This Is the End yesterday.
Oh, that's a good movie.
And they were talking about like Seth Rogen's laugh. He's like, "Oh, some people find it annoying." Because James Franco was like in love with him in that movie, of course. And he's like, "You got a great laugh." He's like, "Some people find it annoying."
You know what's funny is in the, their bromance or whatever. I was watching New Girl yesterday. One of the episodes I watched. Schmidt's mother was like talking mad shit, right? She's like, and you hang out with this guy? And he was like, and the second she said that, he was like being a bitch the whole time. She said, and you hang out with this guy? He was like, enough, Mom. He was like, this is my best friend in the world. That's pretty
funny show.
Yeah, it's really good, actually. The New Girl, I recommend wholeheartedly. Cece's bad as fuck.
People are probably you late as hell to that, so I mean, I'm sure a lot of people probably already seen it.
Well, there's probably a lot of people that are late to the party.
Maybe. I mean, listen, you're in a world now where there's 9 billion TV shows at any given time. So
yeah, there's a lot. No, but I remember watching New Girl in the beginning. I didn't know anything about Coach being there for so long, right? Like I know he was there in the beginning, left, and then he came back, yeah. And he was there for like the duration. I'm only
and my man Winston, he's been in all these commercials and shit. You know?
Winston, yeah,
he's transcended that show a little bit, and that's like where he got his notoriety.
Winston's dope.
He was colorblind and shit
in the show. Oh, that's right. Yo, that show is pretty.
He's like, this is blue. This is not what I imagined being blue. This is ugly.
Can you imagine being grossly disappointed? Like, not to make jokes.
The idea of not being able to see color and having your perception of what you believe a color is.
like the whole time you're like, color must be this fucking fabulous thing I'm just not witnessing. And it is. I'm not saying it isn't, but imagine being the person that's just like, I thought it'd look a little nicer. like what? You didn't see any of this before. Like it was just I think because dogs.
So then you can't think or dream in color either.
Is that true?
I don't know, but I mean,
you don't know what they look like.
Right? How are you gonna dream of it?
So dogs are colorblind. Do dogs be colorblind the same way that people be doing?
No, dogs. That's a lie. See, it's a misconception.
No, they see.
See basic colors.
They see like They see in like
No, from what I understand, they see basic color. They don't see like. There's not like 50 shades of blue for
like
them.
What's that vision? Night vision or something. Like they have like those tones. Like they're able to see like the like earth tones and shit like that. Those olivey.
No, they've proved that they can differentiate between certain colors. Like they have like little pads or whatever, and they can like choose the red one or the blue one or whatever, so they can.
I don't believe that those dogs are doing that on purpose.
Yeah, man.
I think they're just like, I like that pad. I like that pad. Dogs are intelligent as fuck, and if there was ever a dog that would know how to use those, it's Stax. But I don't even know that Stax would have been used.
I'm pretty positive they could see more color than what you believe.
Yeah, but I don't think they're seeing color like I like that blue.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Blue, bitch, blue, bitch, blue, bitch.
What I'm saying is not just like gray and white and black for them. They can see more than that.
I think it's more blank than you're giving it credit for.
No, I think you're giving it too little credit.
But what about being a human color-blinded person?
But I think that's
human blooded. That was
like if you can't see color as a human, I think it's like you see gray, white, and black. You see tones like.
Is it like you're seeing like a
neutral shades is what they
like a drawing without the color in it?
Maybe.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
Speaking of that, because of newspapers, they just pulled like
Gilbert.
Yeah, what the fuck? They pulled it from like 70. I don't know. First of all, I didn't even know it was in that many newspapers. Yeah. I don't know.
I thought it was only in ours.
But I was like, yo, come on, Dilbert, man. That's like a staple.
They didn't give a reason? They just said, I don't like this.
I saw the headline and I was like, I'm not reading this.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen a newspaper in 10 years.
I barely have seen it. Yeah, it's been rare there's one in my house, if ever. I don't think there's been one in my new place at all.
Used to be the Sun Times, man. You get like that Sunday paper at least.
We've talked about that before. Those inserts.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
I'm trying to see all the new sales this week.
I'm going to get all the new sales. Best Buy. Jewel. Motherfucking Fannie Mae got candies I want. And
that's the only way that you knew what new CDs were dropping on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's the only way you can find out.
That's true, man. Yo, I miss those days.
Things are different now.
Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But someday
that's true. You are very far from that.
You are so close to shut the fuck up.
But you will be as old as I are. Be older.
Huh?
So, but you will always be older. Even when I'm that age, you will then be a higher age.
Yeah, but that's fine. But you're gonna get to this age too.
When I'm your age, you're gonna be in your next decade of life. Telling you, man, there's no comparison here. I'm sorry. Right, I'm sorry to drag you down like that, but like,
we'll see you guys in the next pod. I don't feel comfortable.
Did you watch the Funk Flex when he had Freddie Gibbs on there?
No, but Freddie Gibbs been popping up a lot on my Spotify shuffle. That motherfucker got skilled.
He does, and it's,
although I'll say this, not to offend anybody in Gary, Indiana, but wow, I drove past there the first time.
It's the stinkiest city in America.
That's the truth.
To me, I don't know. I've drove through quite a few cities in America at this point.
I don't know that it's the stinkiest. All I'm going to say is I drove through there. I was like, wow, this is not a place I would live.
You telling me that when you cross the Skyway and you head into Gary, that you don't automatically smell just a funk that didn't exist when you were on the other side? It's the industrial area that, like, as soon as you cross over there, it's nasty. I don't know. It smells
like some industrial shit. But yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of Indiana at all. But I had to go to Michigan City to go get my skydiving, and it was nice. You guys do got a good perspective of our skyline. I'll say that much. Although we weren't able to see it, but because of the clouds yesterday.
I guess when you think about it from that perspective, that it makes sense that like our local news would be like, oh, Chicago and Northwest Indiana, because they always include Northwest Indiana when they do we're super close. Meteorology shit.
We're right here.
But it's also like, no, it's not here though. It's not.
It's associated together.
But no.
Well, you didn't make the rules.
Not that. I don't know. Let Indiana worry about their news.
That box for that PlayStation is massive.
Well, the PlayStation is massive.
I gotta get one.
You should. Oh man,
does that say 825 gigabytes?
Yep. Because you have to download the entirety.
You almost have a terabyte?
You have to download the entirety of the game.
Oh, that's a lot.
I got to get an external hard drive.
You don't have...
But just to give a quick update, because we talked about this on the first half, they shipped my damn game, man. It's going to get here tomorrow.
Oh, man, look how things change.
Look at that.
Oh, and they shipped my... and delivered my watch thing. So I'm about to leave and go fuck with that.
And you know what? We checked the Bears game.
And you an assistant.
They were winning.
Pimp. You can never be a real pimp. Your whole family is pimps. My family is assistant pimps.
Well, it's the other way around.
I know, but I was just trying to help you out a little bit. But
we're the same family, though.
Oh, so we're both assistant pimps?
No.
No, we pimps.
Don't put that evil on me, man.
We pimps.
Get out of here. Out of here with that nonsense. Late as hell on the...
Yo, did you see Aaron Judge hit 60 home runs?
Yeah.
Did you see Albert Pujols put 7? He's on the 700 club now.
Also a hilarious name.
Hey, Pujols, get over here.
Like even if like, I would tell people that it was pronounced.
It's Pujols.
It's Pujols.
My name is Pudgels. Stop calling me Pujols.
I definitely would not tell people that it's Pujols. I'm not doing that.
I don't think honestly, this is the first time in my life I think I've ever realized his name is Pujol.
His name is Pujols.
You got Pujols.
It's fucked up.
You got fucking Pujols over here knocking balls outside the park like it's nothing.
They were showing like who else was on that list. That Aaron
the 700 club.
Yeah. So no 60 right in a season whatever the Aaron Judge shit. And you got like
with asterisks.
They should have asterisks, but
they had some assuming Mark
Sosa's
McGuire
on there, McGuire, yeah.
The Ken Griffey Jr. up there?
He wasn't on that list though.
Wow, that's crazy because, and that's the thing about 60 home runs. If he's done this without any aid, that's nuts. He's a fucking cheat code. But the fact that, like, again, I always fight. Let fucking steroids be in baseball, man. Look at how many baseballs were flying out the fucking park.
It
People
feels weird.
just
To me.
everywhere.
I feel like 60 shouldn't be that much, but this is not speaking from this is from an ignorant perspective, right? But you're talking about a 162 game season, and you're a professional in this sport, and you can't hit 60 in a season.
So
as one of the top hitters in the game,
let's do it in percentage, right? Just because, if you shoot from the 3-point line in basketball, 46%, it's a pretty good fucking clip, right?
40% is probably like
60
where they
home runs of 60, and there's 162 games.
You're at bat maybe like 3-4 times in a game or some shit, depending on how long the game goes.
But I mean, you got to remember you're not just batting. Like there's a guy who's throwing a fucking ball.
Well,
at you
yes, no shit, but I mean,
I think 60 is crazy high.
I don't think it's that. And then again, it's from an ignorant perspective.
And the idea that it's not done with anything, right? 72 fucking home runs, like Sammy and Mark McGwire was 70 and 72 or something like that. I forget. They hit crazy clip of home runs for like 3 seasons, and that's a crazy thing we witnessed too. But to me, they hit a lot with just PEDs.
Sammy Sosa's a strange man at this point in life.
Yeah, he is a little bit, but he was a beast back then.
He was.
Mark McGwire was fucking massive, right? But
pause.
If Aaron Judge fucking did that with just natural, then he's a fucking monster.
I'm about to go through and look at
he's got to be spoken about in a different manner.
I'm about to go through my card collection and see what Aaron Judge shit I got. about to blow eBay up, baby. What's up?
But so there's that, and then Pujols hitting 700 is crazy because dude has been hitting home runs for fucking years.
But hey, he is aptly paid.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
My man is making all kinds of money.
He looks like a massive human being, though.
Yeah.
He looks like he's a fucking massive man. Pause. But you know how sometimes you just look at me like that dude's not a small person. Like he's not regular sized. Pause.
He's above average sized man.
Pause. But it's true. 700 home runs. Can you imagine that? And he's never been linked to like PEDs.
Yeah.
I don't think so
either, but he got
700 home runs in your career.
Paid.
But the first one they said he hit was like an 08 or some shit like that. 06. So think about
been in the game for a minute.
So the first one he hit his first home run, and then 16 years later he's still.
But I think like he was one of the
still hitting dingers
in this world where we're talking about like huge contracts, like huge player. He was one of the first ones to like break
he got that big motherfucker.
The mold of that shit.
I remember Shaq and Kevin Garnett being some in basketball.
Yeah,
Kevin Garnett.
And now they're huge.
I think KG got the first really big contract, if I remember correctly.
I think Steph signed like damn near $1 billion or some shit like that. Like
I don't think you get it. Man, if they said 5 years, $1 billion, like
no,
what?
Man, they're getting close. They're like really high up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better time than ever to be an athlete today. You know?
Shit, man.
Although with inflation, it just seems to keep going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Then
still a good time for them, not us. We just still trying to figure out how the fuck to afford the same shit that we had to buy last week with less money.
They're like, all right, listen. So everything that you bought last week, double the price today. That's damn near what they're doing, man. Like every time the Fed jumps on to raise the rate, son of a bitch.
Dude, I've been trying to just enjoy life. All I know is my tax return going towards a vacation. And we're probably going in February for Vivi's birthday.
Okay.
Sarah's going to Mexico, I know, in January for hers.
Yeah. There's I get my passport shit worked out. She still has also get her passport worked out, so I'm not sure what she's.
I don't know well, she said there's something you can do expedited, whatever. I
like to get on a cruise.
I don't know. A cruise wouldn't be bad. But it depends on where.
Doesn't.
Well,
I'm gonna be on the ship. I'm gonna enjoy all the amenities on the ship.
You get off that ship.
Well, of course, but I'm gonna still enjoy all the amenities on the ship.
You want the port? Well, that's the thing, right?
If I had my choice, I'm doing an Alaskan cruise.
Oh, that would be dope.
I'm trying to go and see Aurora Borealis.
So you're saying that you would do the Alaskan cruise before you did like a tropical one, since you haven't been on vacation for so long? I'm just saying, like, which one would you?
I would go and do all inclusive for my tropical vacation.
Which one are you looking for first? Like I'm saying, as your first vacation, what one would be like?
Well, the beach,
that's
of course.
Beach, right? You just
want to just lay down and
unwinding.
Relax.
Yeah.
So kick my feet up on a cabana.
To that, my argument would be that it would kind of matter, right? Because listen, my experience on the cruise is this: you leave at I think it left the dock at 4 p.m. The next morning we were in Freeport, right? And you're in Freeport, you can stay on the ship.
But the Alaskan cruise is different than those type of cruises because most of your appeal is looking out of on the water.
Well, I guess a cruise ship would be because you can also pay for on the cruise ship. Basically all inclusive, like you can pay for the drinks and everything ahead of time. So technically all inclusive but
you can do like whale watching and then like obviously at nighttime like the
Alaskan cruise would be probably.
I want to see Northern Lights so bad. That's like that's one of my bucket list shit.
Bucket list for sure.
I know Pops want to do that too, so I want to get out there with him.
An Alaskan cruise would be dope if we all did that. But I think.
It's expensive though.
Very expensive. My boy did it. He did. It's like 9-10 days of you're just going between this like canal of fucking icebergs. It's nuts.
Scary but dope.
But I would say a cruise would be dope. But that's why I say that kind of matters where you're going. Nassau was cool. Like there's Carnival has their own islands and
stank.
Carnival has their own in Bahamas, their own little islands, and I think the other ones do as well. So they do like stop offs. They'll do like Nassau and there, or do whatever. So it does matter because you get like you'll be there from like 8 to 5. So you're gonna be off the ship for a good amount of the day, messing around. Go maybe on their beach, their shops. In Nassau, we rented scooters. That's what we did. We were on scooters all day. Like literally, me and Vivi, she drove on the back, and we just fucking rode scooters. I'm just saying, like, you want to make sure that it's a place you want to maybe sightsee a little bit. You know,
I mean, but if you go, if you go to Nassau, for instance, for just regular vacation, you're just gonna be on the beach most of the time anyway.
If I went to Nassau, I would go to probably they have that big ass one, Atlantis. Mm-hmm. I would probably stay there.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, might as well. It's the big fucking resort. Sure. But I think big resorts suffer from not being as intimate, right? Where the people are a little less. Like
the hospitality,
where we went, it was just a little different. It's a smaller hotel. It's not big by any means. It's 6 floors, and I would say I don't know how many. I asked Vivi how many she thinks people stay there. I was like, I think probably 10,000, but maybe she thinks less. So, but there's one big pool, and a lot of people want, I want this pool, that pool, this pool, but it was just nice enough where it felt like the hospitality of the workers. It's
more personable.
Yeah,
they
know you by name type of
thing at some point.
Not where they're like, I forgot to bring you my drinks. They know.
Yeah.
And the convenience of it.
But see, there's a trade off with that because like also I want to just be able to lay on a beach and not have a conversation. Sometimes when they get familiar, they want to have a conversation with you for a minute, or whatever.
Maybe. And that's true. But I think you can.
And that's why part of my whole thing is a solo vacation because I'm trying to just sit there quietly. I hate when people want to talk too much. Like I have a podcast so I can talk.
See, the key is to make sure you got your little radio, right? And you just kind of make sure that you find a nice place with shade, and then you can go out in the water if you like.
I got a few Bluetooth speakers. I'm gonna see about like get one of those
I keep
waterproof
forgetting
bags.
to fucking grab one of them for the damn trip. But
get like a waterproof bag and just float it in the pool with me.
I think I want to buy like a really good one soon. I'm gonna look at Best Buy and see what they got, but you know.
I mean, mine were accumulated in like a 2-month period.
I remember.
I wasn't initially planning on getting the Mega Booms, like the blue and black one that I have. But when I went to AT&T so I can add some headphones on my shit.
I remember.
They were like, "Oh, get these too." I was like, "Cool, man.
I will."
Add that shit on there, you know. But
right,
I think we've covered all important things.
Which was pretty much nothing we talked about. Anyway, sneakers?
Sneakers.
What you got?
Well, I got just these infrared 6s, right? But I was like, yo, what do I have that has like a tone of blue in it that matches this jersey? And it damn near matches for color. It's just like a little bit more of a reddish.
Bulls colorway in a sense. I mean, a Bears because it looks orange in a sense.
Yeah, in certain lightings and whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, it worked out well, man. This little outfit. I just had to take the hat off because
fogging up them glasses.
It was contributing to the fog. Yes, I think maybe that's part of why I experienced the issues that I do.
Maybe
with this.
Maybe.
Still, man, sometimes you need a hat. I ain't always got a haircut.
No, I gotta get one soon.
What about you, man?
Brought the Concord 11s back today. I figured why not wear them? I was thinking about it today. I was like, man, it sucks because I know there's things in my closet right now that probably don't have many more years of wear left in them, and that sucks because some of them are pretty old. But you know what? They're gonna stay there forever.
I keep wanting to pull the shattered backboards out, right? Because I'm like, I'll go into October, Halloween month, orange and black.
You might as well.
But I'm also like, usually when I decide I want to, it's like inclement weather conditions. I don't want to get them all fucked up. I want to take them out.
They're like a patent leather. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll find an occasion or two to put them on. You know.
Well, hopefully you do. And
yeah, that's true. Let me not guarantee anything because I also don't like
much.
to do much if I can avoid it. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, well,
sometimes I just like to listen to it for a second. You know, hey,
I get into it. I'm like, oh shit.
But thank you all for tuning in to episode number 152 of the Kasson Avenue podcast, formerly known as the Kiona and Kasson podcast. Still got to get used to saying that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We're gonna get to some football for the rest of the day. I know you excited to go get your watch worked out or whatever.
I can't wait to go size this watch up. I'm gonna rock that shit.
Yeah, man.
Cannot wait.
So that's what's up, you know. Keep this thing going just because we're still in the process of finishing this. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let your peoples know, you know. Send them our way. We're trying to hit that 300 mark. We close.
Tell 702 of your friends. We need
At
to
least
get to 1,000.
If you have 700, that's part of what makes me mad, man. I be looking at our Facebooks and I'm like, we got a lot of people, and those motherfuckers just don't come and support us. So
I'm about to make I'm gonna make a push for some shit soon.
Yeah, do that.
Anyway,
but we'll holler at y'all next week, man.
All right, y'all. Love
Peace.
you.
Love you.
Love you.